Norway is home to some of the world's most breathtaking landscapes. But with fame comes crowds, long lines, and an experience that sometimes feels anything but serene. For each site, we will propose a lesser-known and especially less crowded alternative. Our alternatives mostly work, because most tourists are afraid that they are missing out on something when they don't go to the places everybody else is going. Trust us, if you overcome this fear, you will have an even better Norway experience. Number 1. Bergen. Bergen is visited by 4 million tourists every year. The most popular attractions are the Mount Flåm with its funicular and Bryggen. Bryggen, with its colorful wooden houses, is part of the UNESCO World Heritage. Cruise ship passengers flood the area daily during the summer season, making it hard to appreciate the historic charm. If you are not coming by cruise ship, you can avoid the crowds by visiting the popular attractions after 1700 hours. If you are looking for a somewhat similar city, Trondheim might be an alternative. Number 2. Trollstigen. Trollstigen is a winding road with dramatic viewpoints, located in Romsdal, close to Åndalsnes. It attracted approximately 1.1 million visitors each year, causing congestion and making stops along the way feel rushed. Due to unstable cliffs above the road and leading rockfall, the road was closed in 2024. The reopening might be delayed. Alternatives are Gaularfjellet and Vikafjellet, both located near the Sognefjord. Not as impressive as Trollstigen, they have both their own charm, and especially way less traffic. Also, the roads are wider and thus easier to drive. Number 3. Tromsø. Tromsø is known as the Paris of the North. It is drawing around 500,000 tourists annually, especially those seeking the northern lights. As the city was not prepared for such an increase of tourists, accommodation prices skyrocketed. During certain weeks, it is cheaper to stay in Manhattan than in Tromsø. This also led that less than optimal accommodations arriving on the market, where the owners are just after the money. Alternatives are Hammerfest and Abisko. Hammerfest is a way smaller town and thus will not offer the same amount of services. Abisko lies actually in Sweden, but close to the Norwegian border. But the mountains there create the blue hole in the sky, where there are less clouds, and thus a better chance of northern light observation possibilities. Number 4. Trolltunga. Trolltunga is breathtaking, but also overcrowded. The 10-hour hike has become a queue of tourists waiting for their turn to pose on the iconic rock, with over 80,000 hikers each season. And don't forget the 2 hours waiting time to get on the actual tongue. For a quieter hike, try Dronningstien, the Queen's Trail. It lies just above Loftus, about 20 kilometers north of Tyssedal, where the Trolltunga starts. Compared to the hike to Trolltunga, you have nice panoramas all along the way, and the Queen declared it as Norway's most beautiful hike. Number 5. Geiranger. Geiranger welcomes over 800,000 tourists annually, with massive cruise ships and crowded viewpoints often disrupting the serenity of this natural wonder. The little village was not built to welcome this number of people, so the roads around Geiranger are often clogged. And people who have never seen a mountain road before in their life, we will have a great day if they rent a car. The alternative is the nearby Hjørundfjord, which is just as beautiful, or the Lustrafjord. Not as narrow as the Geiranger Fjord, it offers many sights to visit on its shore. Number 6. Ålesund. Ålesund's Art Nouveau architecture and stunning viewpoints attract approximately 600,000 visitors each year, leading to crowded streets and observation points. The hotspot is the viewpoint from Axla. Less people go to the Sukkertoppen, where you will have an incredible view too. Alternative towns could be Florø or Kristiansund, but they lack the distinct architecture of Ålesund. If you want to stay in the same region, try Ulsteinvik or Fosnavåg. See our video about them. Number 7. Preikestolen. Preikestolen, or the Pulpit Rock, sees over 400,000 hikers annually. turning the trail into a human traffic jam. While the lower part of the trail is a motorway of a hiking trail, the last stretch is narrow. For the perfect Instagram photo, you will also need to queue. For a similar dramatic cliff experience, head to Skomakarnibbå, above the Hjørundfjord. Towering 700 meters above the fjord, it offers breathtaking views and a peaceful hiking experience far removed from the crowds. There are usually 20 to 30 people per day there in the high season, and no one for the rest of the year. Number 8. Flåm. 1.5 million tourists come to Flåm every year. A village with 400 inhabitants. Most tourists do either the Flåm Railway or the cruise through the Fjord to Gudvangen. Flåm is today everything that can go wrong with mass tourism. If you want a similar little village at the end of a fjord, then Fjærland is a good alternative, and Fjærland is quite close to Flåm. For a quieter train journey, ride the Raumabanen, which takes you from Åndalsnes to Bjørli. Or go to Switzerland, where there are scenic trains nearly everywhere. Number 9. The North Cape. The North Cape is marketed as Europe's northernmost point, drawing over 250,000 visitors annually. The only reason why people go there is because it's the North Cape. On the huge parking place, every second vehicle seems to be a motorhome. The truth? The real northernmost point is Knivskjellodden, just a short but rewarding hike away. Here, you stand further north than the crowds at North Cape, surrounded by raw Arctic wilderness. If you want to experience Norway's highest north, other places along the coast could be interesting, like Mehamn or Gamvik. Number 10. Lofoten. Lofoten's dramatic peaks and fishing villages attract approximately 1 million tourists each year, leading to overcrowded roads and strained infrastructure. What many tourists also seem to underestimate is how far away Lofoten is from the rest of Norway's most well-known sites. The amount of tourists put so much strain on nature that special rules have been introduced, like camping interdiction. Alternative are the close-by Vesterålen, and if you want it even more quiet, then the coast of Helgeland. See our video about it. Did we miss an overcrowded site? You don't like our alternatives? Then write it in the comments. And if you like this video, then watch one of our other videos which are also very interesting.